Hi, okay, today I want to go over some changes I made in the silver flash dryer. One of them is, a big one is the post that holds it. I now have it so it's easier to work with. When you receive it in the mail, this post right here will not be attached, and you'll just have to put it in place. Just slip it in there and tighten that bolt up. And we also pull the camera in real close. Right here is a adjustment, which I'll show you, but it pushes this lever out as you tighten it. And what that does is make it easier so it'll level out. And you'll see that when I make the stand. Also, when you get it in the box, there'll be this little post, and this little collar moves up and down. So it makes it so it's easier to raise and lower, and also to put it on when you're mounting it. It just makes it a lot easier. So anyway, that's how the new silver flash dryer is. Now, I designed a new stand really easily to be made very easily, and so I'm going to go over the pieces for that right now. What you want is a piece of MDF, medium density fiberboard. They sell it at Home Depot, and it's this real dense, heavy board. It's 3/4 inch thick, and you want a 15 by 15 piece of that. We'll set that over here, out of the way. Then you want a couple of 2x4s and cut them down to a 12 inch with 2 45s. So that's 12 inches from here to here, and then cut 2 45s. The rest are all straight cuts. So the straight cut, we want 4 pieces at 30 inches. So 4 at 30 inches. And then we want 2 straight cuts at 24 inches. You're going to want some liquid nails. To mount this bracket, you're going to want 4 of these hex head. They're 1 inch, and they're called lag bolts, 1/4 by 1 inch lag bolt. So that's that. And then you want the 1/4 inch flat washers, 4 of those. You're going to want some deck screws to put it all together with. Probably about 20 of them. These are 2.5 inches long. And then you're going to want a piece of tile. Hold on a second. Okay, you're going to want a piece of tile. This is ceramic tile. You can buy 1 piece at a time from Home Depot. And this is 16 by 16 because I am making a stand for a 16 by 16 flash dryer. But if you're going to buy an 18 by 18, then you want the piece of tile to be 18 by 18. If you're going to buy a 12 by 12 flash dryer, then you want the piece to be 12 inches by 12 inches. That also goes along with the MDF. If you're going to use a 12 by 12, go 11 by 11. And if you're going to do an 18 by 18 flash dryer, go 17 by 17 on that. All right, so what we're going to do is put this together pretty quickly here.
Okay.
All right, so the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to use this just as something to support it, but I'm taking a 30. I'm taking a 30-inch board, and then I'm taking the 2 24-inch boards, and I I centered, I drew a line to center it, so we're centering this. And so now I'm going to okay, and I'm going to flip this over to the side. So, so I have a 30-inch piece and the two 24-inch piece. Now we want to put the legs on the bottom. And what I did is actually you will need 4 more of these 1-inch lag bolts. And what those are for, I drilled a pilot hole here. And those are for the feet. So if wherever you're standing this, if it's not level, you'll be able to adjust that. So on 2 of the 30-inch piece, you're going to drill a hole at each end. And you're going to put a lag bolt in there. Alright, so we have the 2 other 30-inch piece with lag bolts tightened in, and these are going to go like this. You see, it's going to go like that, and we're going to screw those on the bottom, but then you'll be able to adjust those lag bolts if you're on an uneven surface. So let's see. So what I'm going to do, flip this around. Again, I centered. So I drew a center line. Okay, lag bolts up. Okay, the other thing you can do is buy casters and put them on the bottom, and it'll roll around. So now, the stand, you can see now, if I want to, that's a little off, I can adjust those lag bolts. Alright, so the next thing is, let's have a look here. 21 inches. So what we want to do, okay, this is the other 30-inch board. Get a rough idea of how we want to, or where we want to put this. So let's So I'm going to mark that at 16 inches. On the center. Whoop. Okay, this last one is a support. So I put 16 right here, but if you have an 18-inch flash dryer or a 12-inch, you're going to readjust it, and I would put it at 12 for the 12-inch and at 18 for the 18-inch. You'll see how you really only need one screw for the support in there. And you can see I'm a little high because I want the screw to go here. If you do it too low, the screw's going to come out. So now we know that's really sturdy. So our next thing is to put this board on there. And remember, it's 15-inch. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put it right there. So 7.5, you want to mark the center. These screws are a little long for that. I'm going to have to come and cut those off. So you may want to use, to hold this down, you want to, they're going to come through the 2.5, so cut those off or use shorter ones. Okay, you want them to bury in there deep. You don't want any head sticking out. And what we're going to do now is use our liquid nails. You don't need that much. You just try to get enough on there to put the tile down. And I'm just kind of using my fingers to feel that it hangs over a little bit on each side. So it's a 1/2 inch on each side. Okay, now you want to put the flash dryer directly over we want it directly over, so we're going to mark those holes and drill pilot holes. So we want it directly over the tile. Okay, when you do that, now mark your holes. Okay, now we need a drill bit, so we're going to pause it for a second.
All right.
Okay, so we marked those 4 holes. Okay, you notice how I have the wood a little longer here? The first time I tried it, I cut it off right here, but the wood split. So we want to give it a little more room. You can cut this off once we get that all set up. But okay, so now we're going to go ahead and bolt that down. This is what makes this one easier with the threaded bolt. You had to deal with the flash drop, on it already. So this does make it easier. Okay, we're taking our 1-inch lag bolts from the washers. I used a 1/8 inch drill bit for the pilot hole. These are 1/4. Oh. So remember, when you're buying the lag bolts, buy 8 of them. Or, like I said, you can put casters and then just roll this around any way you want. So that'll work cool too. Okay, now on this, what I've noticed is it does start to squeak after a while, so I'm putting grease. You can put grease on here. And remember, you can raise and lower this to raise and lower the height of the flash dryer. And here we go, we're just putting this on there. All right, so now, we have this great little flash dryer stand where you can dry your t-shirts, but also if you don't have a printer, a Blue Diamond printer, you can make this go over your printer. Like I said, you can cut that off, but you can make this go over for flash drying on if you have a different kind of press. Now, the way you do this is you make sure this is at least, let's say 5 inches, or it might even be higher, but around 5 inches, and you cure a t-shirt for 1 minute or less. But when it comes over to where your flash drying, it should be 2 inches away. So, adjust it for 5 inches there, and to adjust it to 2 inches there, you're going to cut or raise this bar to do that. But you always want this to be 5 inches at least, and 2 inches on your platen on the flash dryer. I hope that makes sense. Email me if you don't understand what I'm talking about there. But basically, that is it. And so it's a real easy stand. 2 2x4s, there couldn't be more than $20, $25 in materials here, but it makes it real easy. So that is it on the new flash dryer. Oh, I'm going to point out one more thing. See that bolt down there? It can raise and lower this so you can adjust it so it's the right height. So that little 7/16 hex head nut there will, as you tighten it, it'll raise it. As you lower it, it'll lower it. So you want this to be even. So that's a new feature, another new feature of the silver flash dryer. All right, now I am complete. That completes it.